My name's James. I live in Southampton and I'm a construction project manager. I think growing up, I loved playing football. As most young lads, I wanted to be professional. I think I held on to probably a couple of slightly unhealthy relationships and friendships that I formed in college. You know, a lot of alcohol and a lot of drugs. I wasn't really aware of whether this was safe or not. It was just everyone else is doing this, so why shouldn't I? There was definitely a point where I kind of just thought enough is enough. I don't want to be like this anymore. I want to actually be happy. My parents were Christian and they raised me Christian, but I think from probably early teenage years, I distanced myself and just didn't go to church, think about God at all. I first heard Bridge the Gap, ironically, through my mum. My mum was attending the same church that Tristan was. She began talking to me about this football charity Christian thing. He seemed like a really great guy. And he seemed really happy, which at the time for me was really frustrating because I was really depressed. What are you doing differently in life, basically? It piqued my curiosity. And every time he would ask me to come to Bridge the Gap, I said, yeah, sure, man, I'll come. And then I just never went. I had no expectations. I honestly didn't know what it was going to be like. I thought I kind of knew we were going to play football. I didn't know what the structure was going to be like. So I turned up on my own and I saw Tristan there, which was great because that was, somewhat a familiar face. And he introduced me quite quickly to some of the volunteers and guys who helped run the Southampton site. And immediately, they were just so friendly. They showed a real interest in who I was, which was so weird because I'd never met these guys before, but they just seemed like genuinely really nice guys. Right at the beginning, I remember some guys were coming over to me and, they started joking around, and I could feel throughout, the hour-long session, slowly I started to become a bit more at ease. All of them are there because we all have one major interest. We all love football. So straight away when I got there, we just started talking about, the results that happened on the weekend, and I told them that I was a Liverpool fan, and they told me that I sucked. So I met someone at Bridge the Gap. His name was Sam. He invited me to this thing called Alpha. And at the time, I'd never heard of Alpha. I didn't have a clue what it was. Came on my own again, just turned up on my own. We were talking about, God. And up until this point, I totally distanced myself with the whole idea of anything religious. But then as kind of the session and the evening went on, and I started to get to know the people on my table at Alpha, I realised, just like Bridge the Gap, all these people are just normal people as well, and they're really cool and they're really nice. Jesus was almost like a mutual friend that you see on Facebook. He was this guy that everybody raves about and says is amazing, but I didn't know him yet, and I didn't know what that would mean for my life and how it would change when I eventually started having a relationship with him. The thing that changed for me after having gone to Bridge the Gap and then becoming a Christian was that I knew I had Jesus on my side, and I knew that he was helping me and guiding me through everything, and that he loved me. I genuinely don't think I'd be sat here or even a Christian if it wasn't for the Bridge the Gap community. And there are so many different football things out there that you can go to and play football with people. What makes Bridge the Gap so special and different is the community and the amazing group of people that you'll meet. I think the James before Bridge the Gap was probably quite in fact, I was extremely self-centered. The James after Bridge the Gap, I feel like I'm just a better person. I'm a nicer person, I'm a kinder person, I'm a more generous person. I think that for me is, the difference.